Under the eerie moonlight of rural Honai, a chilling mystery unfolds with the robbery of 290 million VND of dead man's money from H5. A bizarre event, part funeral, part ghost wedding, stirs the village of An Phước. Condolence money, mysterious joss paper, and haunting shadows draw journalists turn Min into a spine-chilling journey. Where did the massive sum come from? Who orchestrated the audacious robbery and the gruesome death of the thief? Tune in to Dead Man's Money to uncover the dark secrets behind the ghost marriage custom, where the truth is more terrifying than ghostly rumors. No one knew what to call that evening's gathering. It was both a funeral and a wedding, yet it revolved around a single person. After his wife passed away, Minh Phi received 50 million VND to take her body for a ghost marriage, a strange custom in rural Vietnam. What stirred the villagers of An Phước Commune, Thành District, Đồng Nai Province, was the amount of wedding money Minh Phi received that night. 240 million VND, an unimaginable sum in a rural area still steeped in hardship. In Đồng Nai, people pass down a saying, "The living do not use the money of the dead." The money of the dead refers to condolence money given at funerals, meant only for buying incense, candles, joss paper, and covering funeral expenses. According to folk beliefs, using it for other purposes would deplete one's spiritual merit and invite retribution. Minh Phi paid no heed to such superstitions. He tightly packed the cash and, the next day, slipped out to Provincial Road 769, heading to the nearest bank in Long Than town to deposit it into an ATM. Minh Phi calculated cunningly. Once the money passed through the bank, it would be clean, no longer the money of the dead. But just 50 meters from the bank on the deserted, windswept Provincial Road 769, Minh Phi was robbed. All 290 million VND, every last hin was taken. The robbery was reported by the bank. A security guard, while reviewing surveillance footage, discovered the audacious robbery on Provincial Road 769, a road cutting through endless rice fields and rubber plantations. A typical robbery wouldn't have been noteworthy, but the phrase "money of the dead" cast a mysterious fog over the case. Before long, the story spread throughout An Phước Commune, becoming a hot topic of discussion over evening meals, under the flickering light of oil lamps in rural Hun Nai. For months, things had been quiet, with no cases worth noting. I Turned Min, a journalist specializing in eerie urban tales, hadn't found any intriguing leads in a while. This time, as soon as I heard about the robbery, I rushed to the Long Than District police station, hoping to dig up some information. But whether because I hadn't visited in a while or for some other reason, the police were unusually cold, refusing to reveal a single detail. To make matters worse, my best friend, Le Quoc Chi Si Eng, had been sent on a work trip to Elet, cutting off my official police source. Gritting my teeth, I decided to go straight to Minh Phi's house in An Phước Commune, a peaceful village with red dirt roads and sprawling green rubber plantations. As I passed the village gate, the April air was chilly, carrying the distinct smell of red earth and a faint whiff of rubber sap. I stopped, realizing I couldn't show up empty-handed. I visited Uncle Ba Tung's grocery store, a familiar spot in the village, to buy a few boxes of fresh milk as a gift. While waiting for Uncle Ba to give me change, I casually asked about Minh Phi. Unexpectedly, Uncle Ba furrowed his brow, his eyes betraying hesitation. Minh Phi's house. Min, you'd better not go there. That place, something's really strange about it. My interest was immediately piqued. As a journalist who thrives on spooky stories, the stranger, the better. I eagerly pressed, "Strange how, Uncle? Tell me more." Uncle Ba's eyes flashed with a hint of fear, as if holding something back. But he reluctantly began, "That Minh Phi is a notorious gambler, never doing honest work. His wife was a naive girl, tricked from who knows where, married him for years without bearing a child, and then passed away. A few days before she died, Minh Phi went around the village asking if anyone wanted to arrange a ghost marriage, looking for a match for his wife in the afterlife. In the end, he promised to marry her off to the youngest son of Mr. Than in Phước Commune, a boy who died in a traffic accident last year. You've heard about this, right? I nodded. Yes, I heard. The wedding and funeral were held together, quite grand, with condolence money amounting to hundreds of millions. Uncle Ba scoffed, his fear easing into disdain. Condolence money? Let me tell you, Minh Phi's a thief, stealing chickens and dogs, and his relationship with the villagers is terrible. On the night of the event, aside from a few close relatives, hardly anyone from the village showed up. Hearing Uncle Ba's words, I sensed something odd. So where did all that condolence money come from? Who knows? Uncle Ba replied. That night, his house was lively, true. Those who attended said that during the feast, people kept coming and going outside, handing over condolence money and leaving without even taking a sip of wine. Relatives wanted to check, but Minh Phi stopped them. At this point, unease returned to Uncle Ba's face. Some say those people were ghosts. I found it amusing but played along. I don't believe that, Uncle. How could ghosts bring condolence money? Don't tease me. As expected, Uncle Ba's face reddened and he raised his voice. Who's teasing you? I have proof. To my surprise, there was more to uncover. I quickly got serious and told Uncle Ba. I was a journalist from Saigon, here for this story. Hearing this, Uncle Ba bent down, rummaged under the counter, and pulled out a thin envelope to hand me. It was a plain white envelope, no stamps or address, with the word condolence written in large ink on the back, a common practice in Hun Nai for funeral contributions. I closed the shop late, Uncle Ba said. That night, a young man came from the village gate, dressed in black, head covered with a hat, face hidden. He bought a pack of cigarettes, and while paying, he dropped this envelope from his pocket, forgot it, and headed straight to Minh Phi's house. Uncle Ba lowered his head, recalling. I found the envelope on the floor later. Honestly, greed got the better of me, and I thought about keeping the money. But when I opened it, just as he reached this point, I checked the envelope, opened it, and froze inside were 2 sheets of joss paper, each worth $1 billion in the underworld currency. You say it's not ghosts? Who else would bring this? Uncle Ba challenged. I frowned, staring at the joss paper, silent, my mind swirling with questions. Minh Phi's house sat at the end of An Phước village, a low red brick structure dwarfed by the 2- and 3-story homes of neighbors. The simple, weathered house confirmed Uncle Ba's story of Minh Phi's poverty. Strange, how could such a family receive 240 million VND in condolence money? In the yard, remnants of food scraps and dusty tables and chairs remained, but their scarcity didn't match the scale of a recent grand event. The April night breeze in Hun Nai added a chilling, mysterious air, as if something sinister lurked nearby. I knocked on the door a few times, waiting, but no one answered. While knocking, I faintly heard soft noises inside, suggesting someone was there. If Minh Phi was home, why wouldn't he open the door? Knock, knock, knock. I tried again, calling out loudly, but the house fell silent, the faint noises gone. I circled around, asking neighbors, but the story's eeriness made them reluctant to talk. Only a few spoke, saying they weren't close to Minh Phi and rarely interacted. As night fell, rural Hun Nai, without streetlights, grew dark after dinner, the red dirt road shrouded in shadows, lit only by faint moonlight. I hesitated but decided to try one last time before leaving. Back at Minh Phi's door, I knocked again, no response. As I turned to leave, an idea struck. I took Uncle Ba's envelope, stuffed the joss paper back inside, and carefully slid it through the door's crack. Immediately, rustling sounds came from within. Seconds later, the door swung open, revealing a gaunt, haggard face with suspicious eyes. What do you people want now? I guess this was Minh Phi. But what did he mean by you people? I stayed calm, mumbling a vague response while slipping inside. As Minh Phi instinctively stepped aside, I thought, here's my chance. The house was bare, with almost no valuable possessions, let alone electronics likely sold to fuel his gambling. The only striking feature was a flimsy coffin in the living room, tightly sealed, presumably holding his wife's body. Everything matched the image of a gambler who'd just lost his wife, yet something felt off. Before I could pinpoint it, Minh Phi spoke first.